Welcome back, everybody, to the Ocarina of Time walkthrough. Last time I defeated King Dodongo in the Dodongo's Cavern, as well as, completing the rest of the dungeon as well. This time we've got actually a few side quests to do. This video is mainly not really necessary towards the main quest, but still I want to show off everything that you can do in this game, so I thought I would do that. So anyway, you can come down here and blow up this wall, and you can find a golden Skulltula right here on the wall. However, the interesting part is that this wall is climbable, even though there's nothing hinting at it. It doesn't look climbable. You wouldn't know that unless you tried. So I was very glad that I discovered that on my own as a kid. I was very happy about that. Anyway, so once you're done with that, just go ahead and you can fight these red Tektites if you want to, but as for right now, they're not too much of a threat. Okay, this time around, like I said, we'll be doing side quests, and I'm going to be getting a few more things in the Goron City that I hadn't gotten previously. Now that I have bombs, it makes a whole lot of stuff easier. Watch out for this rolling dude. He can hit you off if you're too close, so be sure to keep your distance. This right here is a bombable wall. I know it doesn't quite look the same as it did in the Dodongo's Cavern, but still a bombable wall. Blow it up. In this small chest there is a purple rupee, which is worth 50. Once you're done with that, you can go ahead and make your way back down to Goron City, and there are a few more things for us to do there, so I will show off what there is. Alright, here we are back in Goron City, and yes, you noticed it was nighttime. That actually doesn't change anything there. Just want to show that off. So you may or may not have noticed this guy here last time we were in Goron City. There's a big rolling Goron here. Hot Rodder Goron is what he goes by. So actually this guy holds an upgrade for us, and our mission is to stop him with a bomb. So I was trying to get in front of him to make it a little bit easier for me, but it didn't work. So you want to bomb him while you're hiding behind this wall here. Make sure you don't do it out in the open, or else he won't give it to you. So you have to be hiding behind this. So you put a bomb down here and stop him, and he upgrades your bomb bag already. So look at that. Already I have a bomb bag upgrade, and I just got the bombs in the last video. Alright, so now I can carry up to 30 bombs, which is a whole lot better. So I hope you like that. Now over here, this isn't anything. I just wanted to show it off. There are a few bombable walls here, and I guess they can't really settle on what texture they want to use for bombable walls because they're going back and forth. Sometimes it's this one, sometimes it's the other one. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. So there are two bombable walls right there, and then a huge empty space, but still there is another bombable wall, and look at that, another bombable wall. So that is 4 bombable walls. And then finally there's this even larger Goron. So yeah, this dude is ridiculously huge. So this is Meaty Goron, and he is working on something really cool, but we don't know what it is, and it's going to take 5 or 6 years for him to make it. Well, whatever. It's better be life-changing or world-changing, if anything. Alright, he doesn't really have anything interesting to say. I just wanted to show that off. So come back down here, and I'm going to go back up to the very top level of Goron City, because you may have noticed on the map there's this room that juts out to the left here that I haven't really seen. Also, you may have noticed these rocks here blocking the path that you seemingly cannot access, but actually you can. You can just walk over the rope across, but that doesn't really matter anyway. You still need bombs actually to do anything in here, and you'll find out why. Because look at that, there are rocks everywhere. Those silver rocks right here that you see cannot be blown up with bombs. You have to get rid of them a different way, and there is no way for me to get rid of them right now, so don't worry. That was an accident. Basically, this right here is sort of a maze, not really. There's no consequence or anything for getting it wrong. I mean, you just have to blow up the bombs or the rocks with bombs in a certain order. There's kind of a path. This place is open. It's not really all that hard to figure out. I've just shown them to you. Anyway, once you're done with that, go ahead and make your way back down here, and you have 2 more treasure chests, which is nice. They both contain 50 rupees. Not really all that helpful because there isn't really any more point in this game where rupees are major. There's one more point, but as for right now, it's not all that helpful. Anyway, roll into this box right here, and then there's another golden Skulltula token, so be sure to snag that on your way here. Wonderful. Now that I've done that, I should have gotten maybe 16 golden Skulltulas. I check later on in this video, but as for right now, I don't quite remember. Alright, that is all there is to do here on Goron City, so now let us follow Darunia's advice and go visit the Great Fairy who lives on top of the Death Mountain. So that is where I'm going to be going right now. Coming outside here, it's still nighttime. It's also worth mentioning that there is a secret hole. I think you can bomb right there within that circle of rocks on that platform, and then you get a secret hole. But it wasn't really worth showing off, so I just didn't in this video. You can come up the hill here, beyond the flag, and very steep hill, but it's still accessible right here. And then there's ledges. I didn't bother to read the sign. My mistake. I probably should have, but I don't even know what it says. Anyway, go ahead and blow up these rocks so that you can make it a more passable, I don't know, journey up here. And you have to time this one just right. You cannot throw this on any ledge or anything. You have to time it just right. So it's kind of frustrating, I guess, if you're not good at that. But, you know, you may definitely take some damage through there. Some rupees left behind there, but of course, you know, they're not very useful because I have a full wallet. I'm surprised I didn't have a full wallet while I was beating the Dodongo's Cavern, because normally that's a thing that happens, but not this time. Anyway, down here, just a little hole I wanted to show off. Remember, you can play Epona's song in front of any cow and it will give you milk as long as you have an empty bottle on hand. So, nothing really important there. I just thought I would show that off just because. Alright, now here is where you truly are making a great excursion up the mountain. So, oh no, look at this! The volcano's erupting, so do be careful. I still recommend you have the Hylian Shield equipped, as the Deku Shield will not protect you from these, and it will get burnt away even if you try, so don't worry about it. Oh, and the rooster crows, but I can't tell because it's, you know, volcanic rocks falling from the sky. Not the sky, but, you know, coming out of the volcano. So, with the Hylian Shield equipped, you can just press the R button to crouch and defend, and thankfully there is no such thing as weapon durability in this game, so the shield can pretty much last forever. So you shouldn't have to worry about that. This is one thing that Breath of the Wild kind of got wrong in my opinion. Anyways, enough on that. Go ahead and just... You're going to have to keep on doing these stops, but I would not try that roll that I just did. I'm an experienced player, so therefore I get experienced player privileges to do that. You may have to stop 4 or 5 times to do it, depending on how fast you get there, of course. Shoot those skullwalltulas should they get in your way. I don't think I actually explained, but there is a way to climb up walls and stuff without skullwalltulas noticing you. And whenever they get close to you, they'll turn purple, and that is how they see you. And if you want them to stop seeing you, all you have to do is just remain stationary for a second, and then you can go up again once they go back to their spot, or they turn white again. Anyway, I would just recommend shooting them. I wouldn't try that yet because they can be annoying. So, don't even bother with them. Once you get up here, actually, before going to the Great Fairy, let's do the exact opposite. Let's go into the active volcano. Good idea, right? Alright, this is the Death Mountain crater, and Navi will tell you that it is so hot, you are probably going to burst into flames if you stay in here for too long. Now you're probably wondering what I'm doing and why I am letting go of a ledge that is climbable. Well, that's because I'm climbing down here to get a piece of heart in this small hole right here on the side. Actually, if you don't really trust the timer and you don't handle anxiety very well, I would actually recommend you drop down into the lava, because then you respawn after, well, you drop down to the lava after getting the piece of heart, because then you'll respawn at the entrance and then you can just leave and reset the timer, because there actually is something else to get here as well. I did have time for it, but assuming that you guys didn't, I'm just going to leave and re-enter so that, you know, this looks pretty much the same thing from your point of view. Of course, I would also advise rolling so that you go a little bit faster, but just as long as you get out of here, you'll be fine. Alright, so roll into this box right here near the entrance, and you can attack the golden Skulltula and then kill it for a token. Now, I could have done this the first time coming here, but I actually did the second time, and that's because your timer technically is a little bit longer because it's interrupted by Navi's text box, so I gave myself a little bit of extra time. Anyway, so I showed off, yep, there are 17 golden Skulltulas that I collected in total so far. Okay, blow up this bombable wall, and you can see their indecisiveness about which texture they want to use. Blow up this bombable wall to reach the Great Fairy's fountain that Darunia spoke of. So, here is a picture of the crest of the royal family, or the Triforce. I'm sure you know what to do here at this point. Go ahead and play Zelda's Lullaby for the Great Fairy to come out. So after just meeting a very creepy and terrifying Great Fairy, well, she just upgraded our spin attack. So as you can see below our health, we have a magic meter. So to use the spin attack, you hold down the beat button to let it charge, and then you let it go to release a huge spin. Of course, it is going to consume magic, so if you want an alternative where you still could get to have a small little slash, well, you can rotate the control stick once and then press the B button. Although, I wouldn't, do that too aggressively because the Nintendo 64 controller is kind of known for breaking. Anyway, once you come out here, you want to go ahead and talk to the owl Kaepora Gaebora. And I know I would highly advise against doing this normally, but this time it's actually very helpful because he's going to take us down to Kakariko Village. He's going to sort of give us a ride on his talons. And he's going to drop me off, as I turn around there, he's going to drop me off on top of a house. And that is actually going to allow me to collect a certain item. So let's see about that. Well, look at that. I'm on this person's roof. You may have noticed this house earlier. This is actually the cucco lady's house right there. So we're on her roof right there. There she is. And you can jump onto this porch right here. And actually there's something important inside. But I wanted to show off what happens if you accidentally jump off. If you accidentally jump off, don't worry. You can actually just play the sun song. And then, of course, yes, it will make the village nighttime. But it'll also put you in the point where you enter the village. And because I was riding with Kaepora Gaebora, that is on the roof. So if you accidentally jump off the roof and you don't land on this platform, don't worry, just play the sun song. So inside here there's a cage with a piece of heart in it and a cow. As to how they got this cow up here is beyond me, and why it's inside their house, well, that is also beyond me, but I don't care because I got a piece of heart. Some people think that normally that piece of heart has to be obtained later on in the game, but I don't really care. It's not really a cheating way to get it. It is a legitimate way to get that piece of heart, but I just wanted to show it off. So would you look at that? I already have 7 heart containers in total, so that is pretty awesome. Our health is certainly growing stronger and stronger over time. Gosh, we'll have completed a full row of hearts in no time. Alright, anyway, here off in Hyrule Field at night, my destination now is going to be the market, or Hyrule Castle Town, whichever you prefer to call it. And there are a few mini-games here that I can play that were available to me before, but normally I just like to put them off until later just because I like to focus on the main quest. And then I like to do a lot of side quests at once so that I can do a lot of main quests at once. That's sort of how I like to play this game. Except actually in this walkthrough, I'm showing stuff off a little bit differently than from how I prefer to do it. I'm just showing stuff off in what I think may be the most efficient way for new players. Anyway, here inside the market, it is finally time to show off some new things. A couple of places in particular. You may have noticed, I don't know if you've wandered through here, gone in some buildings just to see what's around, because there is a lot to see down here. This place is not really boring. But you come in this place right here with a target. I'm sure it gives you a good idea of what it is. This is the shooting gallery, and of course, as the name suggests, it's pretty much like a shooting range, but in a Zelda game. And even though that the picture outside had a target with an arrow in it, you can still use the slingshot to play this game. And as a matter of fact, well, that's my only option because I don't have a bow and arrow, I have a slingshot. So it's 20 rupees to play per one game. If you read the sign, it will tell you everything you need to know about the shooting gallery. You have to shoot the rupees that appear on the stage, and they appear in a certain pattern. I will show that off. So there are 10 rupees, and if you get 8 out of 10, you get to try again for free. If you get it perfectly, then you win a prize, and if you get below 8 out of 10, then you have to pay again. So the pattern here is 1 green rupee, 1 blue rupee, 1 blue rupee, 1 green rupee, 2 blue rupees, 2 red rupees, and 2 red rupees. I actually got the blue rupees wrong the first try. I missed them because, like I said, I'm using Project 64 to record this walkthrough, so it's not quite as precise and as smooth as playing this on an actual Nintendo 64. I would much rather recommend playing it on you know, a legitimate Nintendo 64, because it is a little bit easier to move it around. This controller is very sensitive sometimes and also not sensitive enough. Like, I can move it just a tiny little bit or just move it, you know, not very much, and then it will just go halfway across the screen. So it is a little bit annoying, but I'm just using this because it's probably the best way I can record this walkthrough. Anyway, once you're done with that, there you go. I got it on my second try, which was pretty good, actually. Sometimes I'm actually here for a little bit longer, maybe a few minutes, but shooting gallery, not too hard. For a new time player, I remember I actually used to struggle with it a lot, so don't feel discouraged if that is the same way for you. Just to skip over here to the side is another very interesting area, the Bombchu Bowling Alley. Now, before you are totally confused and wonder what the heck is this game, well, I'll explain to you. First of all, this lady right here isn't very good at, you know, customer service, so she's a little bit sleepy, I guess, so she'll be sleeping whenever you get here, but that doesn't really matter. This game is a little bit more costly to play. It's 30 rupees per one game, and the way that this works is you have 10 Bombchus, which are bombs that can run around on the ground forward, and then they'll explode once they come in contact with a certain object. So, this is probably my least favorite place in the entire game, or one of them at least. I'm not that much of a fan of this place, but you press the B button to place a bomb, chew down, well, you press the B button once to take it out, and you press it again to put it down. And you have to aim for the black areas in this, I don't know, what do you call it, target here on the wall, and it's really weird because you have to avoid the spike and the cucco right there. And it's not necessarily as easy as it looks. I fortunately got very lucky and won it on my first try. But actually, you have to play this multiple times if you want to get every single prize. And there are quite a few prizes to get here. But the two in particular I'm here for are... Wow, I cannot believe that missed. That was quite a disappointment, and I accidentally did that. But anyway, oh, actually, no, that made me win. Would you look at that? Anyway, the two prizes that I came here for were A, a bomb bag, and B, a piece of heart. So just keep on playing until you win both of those prizes. And like I said, this game is going to be frustrating. I agree with you 100%. I hate this minigame. I really wish it didn't exist, but such is life. Oh well. So, I thought I would show this off just one more time, just so you would have a good idea of the whole process of this game. Sometimes that one, the second one, can be in the middle and it'll be at the top, which is such a blessing because I hate trying to have to angle myself to the side properly, just because this is very awkward and it is pretty difficult to get Link to face exactly where you want him to. Again, probably one of my least favorite places in this game. 0 out of 10, would not recommend, well actually, I guess it's not that horrible. Maybe 3 out of 10 would not recommend often. So, look at that. I hit that cucco while I was trying to do it properly. And, oh my. Look at this. The most difficult part about this is the bigger cucco because it gets in the way a whole lot more, and it's just... he moves very randomly, very out of pattern, and it can just get in your way at last second, and then you will just waste a Bombshoe. Anyway, I successfully did get my biggest bomb bag, so I can carry up to 40 bombs. That is the biggest upgrade. I just got it in the last video, and already I have the biggest bomb bag upgrade. That is excellent. Alright, so I played this game again, and then I got the purple rupee. I guess she gives that to you if you're running low, just so that you have more rupees to play and try. I mean, if you like this minigame, which, if I'm going to be honest, I don't know why you would, but if you like this minigame, you can really play here as much as you want. She gives you some more rupees, I guess, to make it a bit more addicting. Anyway, this time I won. I got Bombchus, you know, so that I can use them outside of the Bombchu Bowling Alley. Probably one of the most useless items because there really aren't that many instances in this game where you're going to actually need Bombchus. Still, they're there if you want to use them, I guess. Not my preferred choice, but, you know, you get them if you need them. But anyway, what you're really here for is this piece of heart. You may have briefly seen it there, but I don't know. There it is. I successfully won it the first try again, and I was actually very happy, and I was very nervous too, because I was thinking, Oh, please let the game be recording, because in the past I have had many issues where the game is not recording properly, or my audio's off, or sometimes the footage is corrupted, and I was really happy that wasn't the case for this video. Anyway, after that, that is all you can do here at the Bombchu Bowling Alley. You can play as much as you want, but that is the last place I want to go to. Alright, minigames aside, there are a couple of more things to get in this game. There is a upgrade we can get here. If you remember, the Great Fairy of Power that lives on Death Mountain told us that she has a friend of hers who lives over here in the Hyrule Castle town, or the Hyrule Castle Field, just north here of the market. So you want to come by down off of this little bridge gate, and you may have remembered this in the third part whenever I went to go and visit Princess Zelda. There's this part right here. The sign says dead end, and this rock is... Navi's very confused by this rock, but it doesn't matter. Pull out a bomb, or a Bombchu, I guess, if you want to, and just blow up the rock. And would you look at that? There is a tiny crawl space that can fit a Link-sized child through, so perfect. So here's another Great Fairy's Fountain. Go ahead and play Zelda's Lullaby here at the Triforce and receive your spell. Alright, after that, she gave us Din's Fire, which is a magic spell used to create this, you know, this aura of fire around us, and then we can use it to, of course, attack enemies and also set stuff on fire, if there's anything flammable around. So, it's more useful in puzzles, and I would not advise you to use it as a weapon, even though you can, but I would just not advise it because it costs magic power, and it's not really efficient. I mean, it does deal damage, but it's kind of slow, and it's just, I would much rather prefer the sword and using the spin attacks. So I would advise you get used to the Great Spin, or, no, not the Great Spin, but the Magic Spin. The Quick Spin, that's what I want to say. Get used to using the Quick Spin, but although do be careful because sometimes Nintendo 64 controllers are prone to, you know, their control sticks breaking, so don't be too aggressive. Anyway, once you're done with that, go ahead and play the Sun Song to turn the time to night. And then what you want to do is enter the Hyrule Castle Market. And at nighttime, there are a bunch of dogs roaming around. And actually, the interesting thing is you could have done this side quest, what I'm doing, the very first time you visited the market. That is, if you just managed to get on the drawbridge before or as it was closing, and then it would be considered nighttime. So anyway, inside this house right here in this back alley, there is this woman right here. You may have seen her before, and she sort of has an issue. Her dog is missing, and she can't find it anywhere. And so, of course, you are going to find it, even though she has no idea who you are, nor if we are trustable. But that doesn't stop her from being lazy and wanting us to find it. Maybe not lazy, I guess maybe, I don't know, she doesn't like to go out at night. Anyway, her dog right here, her little Richard, as she called him. Her little Richard is hiding behind this kiosk stand here, so be sure to bring him out, and then you can take him all the way out and back into the alley and into her house. And you may have seen that dude up there in the balcony at the window. He doesn't really have anything to say. He's just going to say the market is boring at night, and then you should make it daytime. Alright, so once you're done with that, go ahead and bring the dog into her, and then she will reward you with a piece of heart. Very good. That is pretty much it for this video. This video was mainly just to consist of side quests. So you can talk to her and she'll just tell you that there are a whole bunch of dogs wandering around at night, if that wasn't obvious already. Alright, so that is it for now. You can poke around here again as much as you want. There's not really anything else to see other than, you know, dogs. And you can't go in any of the buildings at night. At least I'm pretty sure. So I remember at least. Maybe you can the bazaar and the other shop next to it, but as far as I know, you can't go in any of the buildings at night. So that is pretty much all there is to do right here. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you found it helpful, and join me in the next video where we'll be continuing in the main quest.